Have you ever wondered why so many marriages seem to be falling apart in today's world? Is it possible that what was once considered a sacred bond is now viewed as a modern-day death sentence for men? In this video, we're diving deep into the evolving landscape of marriage, exploring startling statistics and trends that reveal the shifting perceptions around this age-old institution. You'll discover why the average marriage in America lasts only 7 to 8 years, and how societal changes are influencing the dynamics between men and women. We'll also uncover the alarming truth about men's mental health post-divorce and the harsh realities of family court decisions that can leave men feeling trapped and alone. Stick around as we examine the growing trend of women seeking relationships with a select few dominant men, and how this new dating landscape is affecting traditional partnerships. You'll hear insights into the unrealistic expectations many women place on their husbands, and why these pressures can lead to relationship breakdowns. By the end of this video, you'll not only gain a clearer understanding of the challenges faced by modern relationships, but also actionable advice for navigating these complexities. Whether you're contemplating marriage, currently in a relationship, or just curious about the shifting tides of love and commitment, this video has something important for you. So, let's dive in and uncover the truths that could change the way you view love and partnership forever. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. In countries like Japan, China, and Italy, a quiet crisis is unfolding as birth rates drop drastically. These nations are now at a point where not enough children are born to replace the older generations, leaving behind a shrinking population that puts immense strain on their futures. Imagine a society where schools are closing due to a lack of students, job markets struggle without a young workforce, and communities lose the vibrancy of new life. It's more than just numbers. It's a deeply felt shift that impacts everything from family traditions to the health of economies. But alongside this demographic collapse is another trend that's equally compelling, even unsettling. Since the early 2000s, we've seen a dramatic shift in dating dynamics, one that upends traditional notions of love, loyalty, and partnership. More and more women today are gravitating towards a small percentage of men, the so-called top 20%. These are men who are typically the most attractive, successful, and often, ironically, the least interested in commitment. Women find themselves competing for the attention of these men, sometimes even willing to share them rather than commit to a less high-value man. This shift has sparked what almost feels like a return to primal, herd-like behavior, where dominant males attract multiple partners while others struggle to find anyone at all. For these top men, the options seem endless, and with such an abundance, they feel little need to settle down. Why would they, when there's always another chance, another partner? In a way, it's like modern society is peeling back the layers of civilization, showing us that beneath it all, certain primal instincts still influence human behavior. And for these high-status men, commitment becomes almost optional. With social media and dating apps, they have access to a global pool of potential partners at their fingertips, making exclusivity feel outdated, even unnecessary. Financial dynamics add yet another layer to this new reality. Today, women hold around 80% of the world's debt, a statistic with far-reaching implications. This isn't just about money. It's about the impact of financial stress on relationships, marriages, and trust. I've heard stories of men who went into marriage completely unaware of the financial burdens their wives were carrying. These men often discover that not only did their wives bring debt into the marriage, but in some cases, their spending worsened over time. Financial discord can create a chasm in a relationship, where resentment and mistrust grow, sometimes beyond repair. It's a heart-wrenching situation, yet one that's all too common in today's world. And then, there's fidelity, or rather, the painful question of it. With social media's vast reach, opportunities for infidelity have skyrocketed. No longer confined to their immediate surroundings, women, and men, for that matter, are now exposed to attention from people they would never have encountered in the past. It's a different world. In the past, a woman from a small town would likely marry her high school sweetheart or someone from her close circle, settling down into a predictable life. She might become a teacher, work at the local bank, serve at a restaurant, or join a nearby company. Her world and options are relatively contained. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But now, a beautiful woman from any small town can post a few captivating photos, and in an instant, she's exposed to messages from millionaires, influencers, and A-list celebrities who find her through the vast web of social media. This change has been revolutionary. It's fundamentally reshaped the dating pool and the prospects for men and women alike. For the men left in these small towns, it's as if their dating pool has become a battleground. Suddenly, they're competing not with their peers but with faceless, high-profile strangers who have wealth, fame, and charisma on their side. This competition creates a ripple effect. The top-tier men, those who are successful, attractive, and worldly, are using this newfound power to their advantage, indulging in multiple relationships without the commitment that used to be a societal expectation. These men gather attention from women eager for the thrill of dating someone desirable, leaving the hometown boys in the dust, and struggling to make meaningful connections. And marriage. The institution of marriage is faltering under the weight of shifting norms and, for many men, the painful realities of divorce. I hear it all the time. Stories of men who gave everything to their marriages only to feel blindsided by divorce. It's not just the heartbreak, it's the financial and emotional toll that often leaves them feeling drained, broken, and betrayed. Many men express fear and hesitation about committing to marriage, knowing that if it fails, they may end up losing not just a partner but also their hard-earned resources and sense of security. And so, we're left with a society grappling with profound changes in relationships, commitment, and trust. The traditional paths of dating, marriage, and family are being disrupted by economic pressures, social media, and shifting values. These dynamics leave many people feeling isolated, disillusioned, and questioning where they fit in. For some, it's a thrilling era of freedom and choice. But for others, it's a time of loss of connection, of stability, and of the simple, straightforward relationships that once defined communities. This transformation isn't just about individual relationships. It's reshaping the fabric of society, leading us into an unknown future where old norms feel obsolete and new ones are still uncertain. Did you know that men are alarmingly 9 times more likely to commit suicide after enduring a harsh divorce? It's not something we hear often, yet it's a stark reality, revealing just how deeply divorce can devastate men's lives. When a marriage falls apart, many men find themselves not only emotionally crushed but also financially drained and legally trapped. They enter family court, a place they might hope will offer some measure of justice, only to be met with judgments that time and again seem to strip them of fairness and dignity. For many men, this experience is enough to instill a very real fear of marriage itself. The thought of choosing a life partner now carries the potential for a nightmare scenario, one where the wrong choice could lead to financial ruin, emotional exhaustion, and a lifetime of legal entanglements. Is it so surprising, then, that so many men are opting to stay single? One tragic story from California highlights just how devastating the consequences can be. Imagine this: a husband learns that his wife has been unfaithful. This discovery alone is heartbreaking enough, but the pain doesn't stop there. As the truth unravels, he finds out that the little girl he has loved and cared for as his own is, in fact, not his biological daughter. He's faced with 2 gut-wrenching revelations: betrayal by his wife and the loss of a child he thought was his. You might think the legal system would show him compassion or at least offer some form of relief. Instead, the court orders him to continue paying child support, citing the best interest of the child and mother as the primary justification. So there he stands, betrayed and deceived, yet forced to financially support the very family that shattered his heart. It's a haunting reminder that family court decisions often place the needs of the mother and child above the feelings and fairness owed to the father, even in the most painful of circumstances. This type of injustice raises so many questions about the very foundation of divorce laws. Who drafted these laws, and what values were they trying to protect? In the current system, an ex-wife, even one who has been unfaithful, can continue to live in the comfort and lifestyle she enjoyed during the marriage, sometimes at the direct expense of her former spouse. Where is the accountability in this? How does the system justify the continuation of that lifestyle, even if she was the one who initiated the divorce and, worse, even if she was the one who betrayed the marital vows? For countless men, the family court system feels indifferent to their suffering, as though their only role is to financially support the family, regardless of the circumstances. It's a perspective that feels, quite frankly, outdated and unjust, as if the laws have yet to catch up to the realities of modern relationships and personal accountability. In America, family courts follow a principle that often places obligation above capacity. This means a man's financial responsibility to his ex-spouse is calculated based on his peak income, without any flexibility for life's natural ups and downs. Imagine the man who, at the height of his career, divorces and is assigned an alimony payment reflecting his high earnings. But as years pass, his income dwindles due to age, industry shifts, or other unavoidable changes. His financial stability plummets, yet he's still locked into that initial high alimony rate. Some men, in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s, find themselves struggling to keep up with payments they can no longer afford, while the court seems blind to the profound financial toll it takes on them. There's a chilling lack of empathy in this setup, as though the system is more concerned with upholding rigid rules than with adapting to real human circumstances. The root of many failed marriages today lies in the unrealistic expectations surrounding them. Traditionally, marriage was a straightforward institution designed to create a stable environment for raising children. In many cultures, marriages were arranged, with love considered a pleasant bonus rather than the foundation of the relationship. Partners accepted the roles they were assigned, focusing on family responsibilities rather than personal fulfillment. Today, however, marriage is expected to be the ultimate fulfillment of every emotional need, a concept that places immense pressure on both partners, particularly men. Men are now expected to be providers, friends, confidants, co-parents, passionate lovers, adventure partners, and even business collaborators. Can one person realistically embody all these roles? And when they inevitably fall short, the marriage is at risk of unraveling under the weight of unmet expectations. If a man feels like he has to be someone he isn't in his marriage, constantly adjusting his behavior, tiptoeing around his spouse's sensitivities, suppressing his true self, then the relationship is already on fragile ground. A marriage should offer a sense of belonging and authenticity, not a feeling of walking on eggshells. How often do we see couples where one partner feels stifled, afraid of being chastised or judged? When a relationship demands that a person contort their identity to please someone else, how can there be any real happiness? The irony is that these contortions are usually performed out of love and a desire to keep the peace, but over time, they erode the very foundation of the relationship. What began as a loving partnership devolves into a complex web of resentment, frustration, and, eventually, separation. The sad truth is that, given these dynamics, marriage can feel like a gamble with stakes that are far too high. For many men, the fear of making the wrong choice isn't born out of a lack of commitment, but rather a very real sense of self-preservation. Until there is a shift in the legal and social understanding of marriage, until there's fairness and mutual accountability embedded into our laws, perhaps it's not surprising that so many men are choosing to walk alone. When you reach a point where everything your partner says or does starts to irritate you, it's often a painful indication that something precious within the relationship has shifted. Those once endearing quirks now seem frustrating, and the closeness you once shared feels almost unreachable. It's a heartbreaking moment when you realize that the relationship, once a source of warmth and comfort, now brings a sense of constant tension. This frustration can emerge from feeling overlooked, misunderstood, or from a gradual erosion of respect and appreciation between both partners. For a man, the commitment to marriage is often accompanied by an innate desire to feel needed, appreciated, and valued. In many ways, his sense of purpose is tied to his ability to provide support, to make his partner's life better, and to stand by her side through all the ups and downs. When his wife says, "Never mind, I'll do it myself," it may seem like a small, innocent phrase, but to him, it can feel like a quiet rejection, a reminder that his efforts are not valued or perhaps not even welcome. This isn't about a man thinking his wife is incapable. It's about his desire to feel included, to contribute meaningfully to their shared life. When she accepts his offer of help, even in the smallest of tasks, she sends him a message that goes far beyond the immediate need. She's telling him, "I see you. I appreciate you. Your efforts matter to me." By embracing these gestures, she allows him to feel fulfilled, useful, and connected, as if his contributions are a valuable part of their partnership. This type of recognition builds trust and strengthens their bond, making him feel seen and needed in the relationship. However, each time his help is dismissed or met with an offhand, "I'll handle it," it chips away at his self-worth and his sense of place in her life. It communicates, even if unintentionally, that he is not needed, and that his role in the relationship is shrinking. Over time, these small rejections accumulate, and he may stop trying altogether, feeling that his efforts, no matter how genuine, will always go unappreciated. Tragically, when this pattern goes unaddressed, he might start seeking validation elsewhere, looking for someone who will appreciate his efforts and welcome his gestures with open arms. The need to feel productive and valued is deeply rooted in a man's identity. When he loses his sense of usefulness, he also loses a core part of himself. Feeling unnecessary or redundant within his marriage can make him question his value, his purpose, and his place in life. A wife who repeatedly prioritizes her own needs and happiness above her husband's, expecting him to be content without feeling appreciated, can inadvertently build a wall between them. If he begins to feel that his happiness is continually sacrificed for hers, the relationship can start to feel like a one-sided commitment, which is incredibly painful and difficult to overcome. In that space, resentment grows, and the emotional distance between them widens until the connection that once brought them together begins to break. Now, when we consider marriage, many assume it to be a sacred union, supported by both love and religious belief. However, the concept of marriage being a sacrament of the Catholic Church didn't arise until 1563, over 15 centuries after the birth of Christ. Originally, marriage was more of a personal vow, a commitment made out of choice rather than a religious obligation. The Church didn't initially see marriage as a necessity. It only became involved when it recognized marriage as a way to influence and hold power over the most personal aspects of people's lives. This change marked a significant shift, as the institution of marriage was suddenly linked with religious commitment, giving the Church authority in matters of personal union and family. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Today, marriage has evolved dramatically from what it was just a few centuries ago. Modern marriage has faced numerous social and economic changes, altering not only how couples connect but also how they view the permanence of their union. Studies reveal that women are now twice as likely to initiate divorce compared to men, signaling that the expectations, needs, and pressures within a marriage are shifting. This new reality shows us how far we've come from the past, where marriage vows represented an unwavering commitment. "I will not leave you, no matter what, through sickness, health, poverty, or wealth." Such vows were a public declaration, made in front of witnesses, to signify an unbreakable bond. They were meant to withstand life's trials, to remind both partners that no matter the hardships, they were in it together. Marriage wasn't simply a partnership. It was a promise to stand by each other, for better or worse, for the entirety of their lives. However, today, as societal pressures and personal expectations evolve, the meaning of these vows has changed. Many find it harder to sustain that same level of commitment through the challenges of modern life, and what once was seen as an eternal bond is now, for many, only as strong as it is fulfilling. In this context, Marriage is not just about love. It's about mutual respect, constant effort, and an unspoken promise to make each other feel valued and needed. It's about both partners recognizing the worth in each other's presence and contributions, about building each other up rather than slowly tearing each other down. When either partner feels overlooked or undervalued, it's not just their happiness at stake. It's the very foundation of their relationship that begins to crumble. As we come to the end of this discussion, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned about relationships, respect, and the deep value of feeling needed and appreciated. Every relationship faces its challenges, but by recognizing each other's efforts, welcoming gestures of love, and nurturing mutual appreciation, we build a foundation that stands the test of time. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned from this video that you'll bring into your own life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to know how this resonated with you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insights like this. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.